Hey guys, welcome back. Orabomb here, bringing you another one of our live tabletop matchups. Today we're actually doing something interesting. We're doing a Glaceon Greninja deck, Greninja GX that is, versus Zoroark Greninja once again, with a couple of updates. We've been updating these decks here and there. We've been doing a lot of testing on the off-screen, and what I want to start doing is actually just like giving random matchups between like maybe updated versions of decks or versus like some of the new decks. Like hopefully tomorrow, or maybe not tomorrow, but like sometime soon, we'll have a Lucario GX versus Ultra Necrozma with choice bands, as everybody wants me to play with choice bands, which I understand. With testing, I did like choice bands a lot more. I just had to figure out what I wanted to cut first. But today we're doing Greninja. I'm gonna go Glaceon Greninja versus Zoroark Greninja. Now it's a little bit awkward that Psychic Energy says Froakie on it. We didn't have another Froakie proxy at the time, and I was just like, you know what, we're playing. We might as well record it. So ignore that Psychic Energy. It's a Froakie. It's a Froakie. It's a Froakie. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I am starting with a Oranguru on the bench, Froakie in the active. The goal is generally to get a Glaceon in the active right away, especially against Zoroark, preventing turn one bridges and stuff like that. But this Glaceon deck is very, very interesting. I might not do a live deck profile on it. I mean, it's relatively unique because it's not like your standard Glaceon deck. That's what I'm doing, is playing Lysander Labs with Greninja and switches. And I love it so far, and I'm also playing cards like Wake, which hopefully we can show off later in the video. And I love the deck so far. It's actually been working really, really, really well. And I was thinking about doing a live deck profile. I'm in the air about it. I don't know if I actually want to do one, because like it wouldn't be like a terribly new deck, just adding some things like Lysander Labs, which is really good, because if you guys don't know, what Lysander Labs does is that it prevents tools. Like you can attach tools, but there are no effects on tool cards on the board, which is kind of big, because like Floatstones are annoying. I want to remove all mobility off my opponent's side of the board. Getting rid of my opponent's choice bands does prevent a lot of 2-hit KOs on my opponent's side. And while I'm playing Glaceon, I'm also playing a 1/1 line of Barbaracle in here as well. Barbaracle's ability is, as long as you have a stadium on board, your opponent cannot attach any special energies, which means you can stop your opponent from attaching things like DCEs on their Lele's or their Zoroarks and stuff like that from 2-hit KOing you, which is kind of big. I'm not too sure how I feel about the Barbaracle though. In my testing, I didn't really get a chance to use it as much as I would like. But my opponent did not get a turn 1 Bridget, which was absolutely great for me, because that means even though I wasn't able to get my Glaceon in the active that turn, my opponent still didn't get a turn 1 Bridget. So, and if I can just land a DC here, I can knock out this Froakie. I can put 30 damage on that Zora on the bench, so that I can knock it out later. The cool thing about Greninjas in this deck is that you can actually put things in range and snipe things, and just it's like the reason why people want to play Buzz Bats or Lando Bats, but like Buzz Frogs, I guess. Same thing, right? Where you're slamming the bench for 40, but you're also spreading damage with your evolution, with your Frogs evolutions and stuff like that. So there's a lot of reasons to like the deck list, and yeah, it's been very successful for me in the past. I've been able to put in exact numbers to GX my opponent and knock them out from full if they have a fully set up Pokemon, because I've been able to evolve my Frogs in very particular orders. So it's been really cool. And just the ability of Glaceon is inherently very strong, being able to stop your opponent from using Lele's, stopping a lot of abilities. It's been pretty cool. I'll see what it's like against other decks in the future. We'll probably be playing this deck again sometime on the channel, so I'm pretty hyped about it. I really like it. I think I'm gonna try to work on this deck some more. One thing I do want to do is take out the Barbaracle, because it's been so inconsistent for me, and whenever I do get it on the board, it's very particular, right? Because you have to have your stadium on the board, not your opponent's. It has to be your own stadium. So it's a little bit awkward to always have a stadium on board while Barbaracle's down, because Barbaracle's attacks aren't like super useful. So I don't think there's really too much of a point in playing it. I kind of want to cut it for maybe like another Wake, because Wake is beautiful in this deck. If you play Professor's Letter and Wake in this deck, first of all, Professor's Letter is good because it gets you water energies, which is pretty good, because every now and then whenever you lead your EV, you want to make sure you have that water energy in your hand, and sometimes you just don't have one in your hand in your opening hand, and you don't want to Sycamore or toss anything. So I found that like having that Professor's Letter helps. It's like adding more energy, but it also serves a double purpose by making Wake more useful. If you guys don't know what Wake does, it is discard 2 water energies from your hand. If you do, you can take any 2 cards from your deck and put them into your hand. So it's kind of busted in a deck like this, where you kind of want your combo pieces. I've been a huge fan of it. But Greninja Glaceon's been amazing as well. Obviously, I stopped my opponent from trading, so like not Greninja Glaceon, I'm sorry. Zoroark Greninja's been amazing as well. I put in one Shadow Stitch Greninja to prevent my opponent's abilities. It's been really fun to use in the Ultra Malamar matchup. And I also put in an Aqua Patch so that I can use Greninja's attacks like more often than not. And over here, I'm still trying to dig for my DCE, and we'll see if I can find it. Because what I could do is, yeah, I'm just gonna Ultra Ball here, probably get more EVs down, because I generally want to have 2 Glaceons down. I can't really stop my opponent from 2-KOing me at this point. As long as they get a bench at some point, they're gonna be able to 2-KO my Glaceon. And I'm not playing Acerola, but I'm thinking about dropping the 1/1 line of Barbarical just to put in maybe like an Acerola, or maybe increase the weight count or Professor Letter count or something. Because it's been really good. But I'm also trying to get Lysander Labs, because if he doesn't get a full bench, Choice Band can still give him the 2-KO, and I kind of want to avoid that. I'm going to play down the Frogadier here, just because I'm going to Sycamore and I want to be sure to evolve it right away. And I'm going to put the damage on that, because if I spread the damage, I can GX it the following turn if he does make it active. I'm going to play down another Eevee, and I'll Sycamore. I'm only playing a 2-2 line of Greninja in this deck list. That's another thing I kind of want to increase. I might play like a 3-3-2 line of Greninja instead of the Acerolas. That could be very interesting. Instead of the Wakes and the Acerolas. But here I have 3 energies in my hand, so if I wanted to, in future turns, I could just Wake for more DCs. But I'm gonna keep, I keep whiffing the DC here, so I'm actually gonna keep evolving my Pokemon on my bench, just to make sure I have plenty of Glaceons on the board. And now I have one Pokemon that can evolve into a Frogadier and another Pokemon that can evolve into a Greninja. That's 50 extra damage I could put on the board. If I can combine that with a Spread Shot, I can knock out the Froakies on the bench and stuff like that. So I'm actually I'm in a pretty good position, mainly because I'm stopping my opponent from doing any sort of abilities, which has been very useful on my end. Like, my opponent just drew another Zoroark, and what can they do with that? Like, there's no Zoro on the bench. Let's see what my opponent has though for this turn. Guzma. Okay, cool. So I guess she's just gonna start attacking in general. She's taking a knockout on this Eevee for hitting for 60. She's gonna put some spread damage on one of the Glaceons, and she's gonna start trading because the Glaceon's no longer active. So now she can start using her abilities. Let's see if she got anything useful. I guess not, but she is taking a prize, which is good. Definitely want to take those prizes while you can. Let's see. Do I have a Wake in my hand? Oh yeah, I do. Awesome. So I can actually discard my 2 energies to get some DCEs. I'm gonna get a DCE, and I think I'm also gonna get a Draw Supporter just because I don't have like a Draw Supporter in my hand. I believe that's a Guzma and something else. We'll see what I get. I don't actually remember. I just remember that all I wanted that turn was a DCE. That's all I literally wanted that turn. I could get a second DCE for attachment for the following turn, or I could just get a Draw Supporter. I could also get something like a Switch, because if she does damage me, I want to be able to, oh, you know what I could do actually, is I could get a Greninja. Maybe I have a Greninja in my hand. I think I already have a Greninja in my hand, but I'm probably going to GX my opponent this turn to get rid of their only attacker. That's probably my goal. It's been a long time since we had this match, guys, by the way, which is why I'm like, you know what I mean? But, let's see. I think I grabbed a Lele there. It was either a Lele or a Draw Supporter. But I definitely grabbed the DCE because I gotta attack this turn. And I know one of my viewers said to stop speeding up the games. They didn't want to see the game sped up, so I decided to go down the middle and just like slowly speed it up instead of actually speed it up like too much. But I'm gonna evolve into Greninja to put 3 damage counters on that, and then GX it for a huge amount of damage. I think it's like 50. Is it 30 or 50 for each damage counter? I'm pretty sure it's 30. I think that's how it works, right? No, it's 50. So that means I'm doing 250 damage. It doesn't matter how much damage I'm doing. The point is that I took a knockout. And here, if she can't do much, I can definitely knock out this this Froakie here and put some damage on that Glaceon just to keep setting up my board, you know? And I gotta make sure I set up my board as much as I possibly can while my opponent is behind, so I can just take an overwhelming victory. That's kind of how it is, right? Glaceon, like Glaceon does well because it has really good matchups against things like Zoroark. I do want to play it against Buzzwole, maybe with the Beast Ring and stuff like that. I want to keep trying it against different things to see what I like. I am playing a Mewtwo in this deck list. I got two DCs off the prices. That's right, I remember that now. I remember like going, where are my DCs? And then they were 2 priced. That's right. In fact, I'm pretty sure in this game I had 3 DCs prized, and the only DC in my deck was the one I got off the Wake, which was kind of wild. But we managed to draw out of that situation. And let's see what my opponent gets here. Oh, it's the Psychic Froakie back. But let's see, what else do I like? What else do I like? What else do I like? Let me know what you guys want to see me play in the future as well. I'm currently working on some Gardevoir updated decks and Garchomp Lucario. You guys know I'm a sucker for that deck. I'm working on that deck as well, just because we have Mystery Treasure and we have Diantha for Guardy. The only thing that this deck doesn't have in the Greninja Zoroark version is Float Stones. I would like to play Float Stones in the deck, but like deck space is pretty hard. it's pretty difficult to make deck space in this deck. But I'm gonna attach a DC to the bench, so now I have two Glaceons just ready to demolish, put some spread damage on the board, things like that. And I'm going to Guzma up the Zoroark, just prevent her from actually getting Zoroarks out. Because Zoroarks are a big problem because they can 2-hit KO you if they have enough Pokemon down on the bench. And the thing is with Glaceon is that after you use your GX attack, it's really hard for you to take revenge knockouts from like from your opponent. Since you're only doing 90, and since this deck doesn't play choice bands, because we're playing Life Center Labs, we're not playing choice bands or float stones. We can't attach choice bands to Glaceon, take 2-hit KOs on like 100 or 200 HP mons or 190 HP mons, which is pretty big. That's why the frogs do really well in this particular matchup. She's gonna play Kukui there because she doesn't really have anything else she can do, which is really bad. Like the fact that she's drawing this poorly is just really sucks too, because like the deck plays a high amount of supporters. Like I think 1 Sycamore, 4 Cynthia, 3 Ns, I believe. So she has access to draw supporters in this deck. She's just not drawing well. Just pretty unfortunate. Another thing I kind of want to try, well, I mean, Oranguru is fine in this deck from what I found, especially when you're combining it with Wake. It's really just there to prevent late game ends. I don't feel like you need Octillery. The less cards you play in this deck, the better, in my opinion. But she's evolving into Frogadier and they're switching it for the sake of, you know, the screen, which I appreciate. She's putting damage on the active. Is that what she's doing? Let's find out. Okay, she's putting the active on the bench back there. And she can Shadow Stitch, prevent me from using any abilities next turn, which means no Frogadier drops. Let's see. Another DC on the Greninja. Greninja is also a really, like, as you can see, I fully set up a Greninja in one turn. Greninja is really easy to set up in this deck as well, and Greninja's attacks are fairly useful. Being able to shuffle yourself back in the deck and doing over 100 damage, which is pretty nice with Glaceon's attacks math, because you're doing like 90 for that one and then 110 with the other, which means you're hitting that 200 number. Or you can snipe the bench for 130, which is pretty big as well. So Glaceon and Greninja, just overall, their attacks do well together, their abilities work well together. I like the deck a lot, and shout out to everybody. Like there was like 30 people that commented on my Greninja Zoroark deck. They're just like, play Glaceon Greninja. And it's just like, okay, I got you. I like playing Glaceon. I want Glaceon to be a good card. I really do. And I feel like Glaceon has a good chance in the meta post, because it just stops a lot of things. Like it stops Lele, it can stop things like Regirock and Greninja, and Greninja's just getting better and better. I just feel like its fighting matchup is a little bit iffy, so I have to be very wary of that. Especially with like Buzzwole getting better and better every day. She's finally getting a Bridget, which is pretty good, because now she can actually attack with Greninja and hit for 2-hit KOs. With Zoroark, I mean, and hit for 2-hit KOs. So I believe that's what she's trying to do. Because she can't GX me anymore, so she actually has I actually have no way to knock out a Zoroark if the Zoroark becomes active and starts hitting me this turn. Not in like 2 hits at least. I mean, not in 1 hit, I mean. She might just Moonlight Slash here? Is that what she's thinking about doing? I guess so. Moonlight Slash for 80, I believe. There we go. I gotta be careful with that orange dye. I can't really see it. In post editing, it's easier to see everything, but like whenever I'm editing it, I can't really tell. Alright, so the Mewtwo, obviously dead card this game. I don't really care too much about it, but that being able to switches Glaceon from the active is pretty big. I'm probably going to Guzma up one of the frogs or maybe even a Zoroark on the bench so that she can't trade later, and I can prevent as many 2-hit KOs as possible. Because I still have the thing on the bench. That's pretty useful. And my Lysander Lab's still active, so I don't have to worry about choice bands as of right now. She might get like a parallel or something like that, or a devoured field, or a blower, because this deck does play 3 blowers because Garbodor. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to knock out that Zoro on the bench. And I think I might just put, yeah, I'm gonna put spread damage on that because I can set that up for another Guzma knockout later. Because all I have to do here is Guzma up one of the frogs on the bench and then snipe down the Greninja with his last HP, because it's at 120 right now. It only has 10 HP left. So I can take the last 2 prizes by knocking out some combination of frogs, which is pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, she's gonna make sure the frog is active, so I can't like attack. I can't just snipe a thing, you know what I mean? So I can't just snipe it from the bench. So she knows it's gonna be knocked out next turn. But if I have a Guzma in hand, which I do, I can just knock out one of the frogs and then snipe the Greninja on the bench for a game. And that's gonna be game 1. It was very, very one-sided. Hopefully we can get a couple of, hopefully we can get another good game, because this one is gonna be a best of 3. I forgot to mention that earlier. But for now on, all the videos are going to be best of 3s, just because, you know, people want to see more games with it. I want to show off more than one game, and I actually had a little bit of time to record these games. We spent like 3 hours, I believe, that day just like recording. We recorded this best of 3, and then we recorded a best of 3 with Lucario versus Ultra Necrozma. Lucario having things like Diancie and the new Buzzwole, the baby Buzzwole in it as well. Although I have had some comments telling me that the baby Buzzwole is most likely not going to be in the set because they've already announced what Ultra Beasts are going to be in the set, which I mean, that's going to be kind of annoying. I'm not going to lie, if it's not in the set. Dude, she has the frog again. I was like, hopefully, I remember I started the video off going, hopefully she doesn't actually deal with the proxy frog, and she started it in both games, so that's pretty cool. She's gonna play N here, so once again, no turn 1 Bridget, which kind of sucks because we are playing like the 3 counter Bridget, which is, you know, the thing that people usually play. So that was 2 unfortunate turn 1s for my opponent. But if she can get a bunch of Pokemon down this turn, it probably won't matter as much. We'll see what happens. I am getting more cards out of this though, so it was a little bit unfortunate that she had to play N turn 1. And it doesn't look like she got any more Pokemon, but I did get a bunch of Water Energies in my hand. I have the Ultra Ball, which I'm probably gonna have to use for something. I can't wake this turn, I think. I think what I have to do is just Lele for Sycamore, which is a bit unfortunate, but I think it'll be fine. At least it activates all my Aqua Patches for the rest of the game. But she's gonna get down another Zoroark. I don't know what else is in her hand, but she probably has a Draw Sporter in there. She's doing that, so I'm not too worried about it. It looks like she has something like a Cynthia or something. I top decked the Lele, so now I don't have to actually Ultra Ball for Lele. What I can do is Ultra Ball for an Eevee to evolve into Glaceon, and then I can Lele for a Sycamore probably while putting down that Lysander Lab. So that seems like the best option. I'm trying to think if there's any combination of cards I could get off Wake, because I can Wake this turn if I want to. But I don't feel like a Wake this early in the game is super necessary. The only thing I really want to do is get a switch card, right? So I can make my Glaceon active if I do it. So what I could potentially do is Ultra Ball away the Guzma and a Water Energy to get, oh, I guess the Lysander Labs instead. But I guess I could also Guzma this turn as well, which is probably something I'm thinking about as well. So I could do that. So I don't actually need to Wake this turn. I'm just getting a Glaceon ready while looking through the deck. Make sure I have Binacle as well, or Barbaracle, because every game I've played with this deck, I think I've only gotten a Barbaracle on the field once, and then that hasn't really done much. And I already discarded one of my 3 stadiums, because I think I only play 3 in this deck, which means my Barbaracle is like looking way weaker than usual. But I'm gonna go ahead and attach that here, and just get out a Glaceon here, and I just want to make this thing active. So I could Lele for Sycamore the following turn. I think I'm just gonna give up on the Wake idea for the time being, and just prevent my opponent from using any trades, because that's the whole goal. So we'll see if that's what I do. I might not do that, I might just Sycamore, I don't actually remember. But yeah, I'm gonna make the Guzma play like I thought. Bring out the frog as well so she can't evolve into a Zoroark and just start attacking me. But there's a Zoroark, as expected. If she has her own Guzma, she can start trading as well, but I don't think she has a Guzma. She might evolve into a frog. I think there's a Frogadier in her hand, so she might just evolve into the Frogadier, put some damage on the board. And I think that's a Cynthia or a Sycamore in her hand or something. But she's also like, she probably doesn't have it. She's probably considering like, do I want to evolve into the frog right now, or do I want to save it for a future turn? So both, it's pretty valid thoughts either way. It really just depends on like how confident you are into making a play. So, but she's gonna play down a Bridgie here instead. So is that the draw supporter she had in her hand? Maybe she doesn't have a draw supporter. Maybe I'm just going crazy. I don't know. I can't really tell. But she is putting down all her Pokemon that she needs to right now. More frogs and definitely another Zorua. Yep, there we go. So this game looks like is looking a lot better for my opponent, because even though I did ability lock them, they still managed to get a Bridget. Sure, it wasn't turn 1, but I mean, like, you don't really care what turn you get the Bridget, as long as you get the Bridget like early game. So at least against this, at least against this matchup. Excuse me, guys. My throat's a little bit agitated in the morning. But she's gonna pass here, which is a bit unfortunate. Hopefully, I can get myself a DCE here. I am just gonna go ahead and try to get a Sycamore or something like that. Yeah, Sycamore. One thing I kind of want to play in this deck is Lily as well. I just like the idea of playing Lily nowadays. Lily's been a lot of fun. But I'm not going to attach. I'm going to definitely try to get myself a DCE so I can start doing damage. I need to start spreading damage as much as I can. I also want to try to get me one more frog on the board, so I have the potential of spreading damage later in the game as well. And if I can get my Barbaracle and a Stadium on the board as well, I can prevent my opponent from attaching DCEs this whole game, which is pretty big. It's pretty big because the whole deck runs on attaching DCEs to the Zoroarks to actually do damage. So yeah, I'm gonna Sycamore there and draw my 7. And we'll see what we get. We got the DCE, which is good. We have a lot of water energies in hand though. This deck only plays, I think, 8 water energies, or maybe it's 9. I know it's something. I think it's 9 with 1 Professor's Letter, because I do want to try to get my turn 1 as often as I can. Start putting damage on the Zoroarks so I can actually put them in range of GXs in the future. And I'm going to go ahead and put the damage on the Zoroark there, so that way if she becomes active, then I can just GX it next turn. And she can hit me for 100, so she'll still get the 2-hit KO, which is still problematic, but like, you know, we can manage it a little bit more now. I do need to get me another Eevee on the board right away though. That's pretty huge. She's gonna put damage on the lovely Glaceon, and then just do this Cynthia shenanigans. She didn't really need the damage on there because she gets a 2-hit KO regardless, but it is gonna be it does relieve the pressure of like needing a full bench for later in the game. If she does get another Zoroark here and another DC, let's see if she whiffs a DC. She did not whiff a DC. I think it's a DC in her hand right now. Yeah, all right, cool. So she gets the DC. But it is pretty useful that she did put the damage there, because if I do knock out the Zoroark next turn, if she gets another Zoroark DC the following turn, she takes a knockout without having to bench anything, which is pretty good. It's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But she does bench up something, so I guess it's not like the most important thing in the world. But if actually you can combine it with some Greninja damage, Greninja Frogadier. Hold on, what's going on? Why is there only... hold on. I'm trying to think of what's going on here. I think we catch that later, but there's I think I only put 60 damage on the Glaceon for some particular reason. I don't actually know why. But whatever, we'll roll with it, we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna attach another one here to evolve. So just like I said, I want to try to get as many Glaceons down as I possibly can. So we're gonna keep rolling with it and see exactly why I only put down 1 dice when I should have put down 2 dice. Maybe I did put down 2 dice and I just can't see it. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, never mind. Forgive me, guys. I actually can't see the dice because, like I said, the colors are a little bit weird before I actually do the whole rendering thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and GX my opponent. I only have, let's see, 120, 140. I only have, what, 60 HP left? So, is that what it is? 60, 120, 140. I don't really, yeah. Okay, so she can evolve here. No, she's putting damage somewhere on the board. Oh no, she can't put damage on the board. That's right, I just remembered. Because when you have a Greninja, when you have your Glaceon active, your Greninja's ability doesn't work. I forgot about that. So that's pretty useful. So yeah, I was trying to think earlier. I guess she was just like, it was a it was a just-in-case maneuver to put the damage onto that Glaceon, just in case shenanigans happened. So, I mean, it's not like completely impractical, but she still takes a knockout here. I think I have another DC in my hand, so this isn't like the biggest deal in the world, but like I said, I have to try to streamline Glaceon. So ideally I get another EV down this turn that I can evolve into a Glaceon. But yeah, there's a DCE. Because it's a little bit awkward, right? Right now I'm in a position to where she can take 2 AKOs while I take 3 AKOs unless I get Greninjas down. But I have the Wake here, which is pretty big. So I can actually discard my 2 water energies here to get myself a... What am I getting? I have no idea. I think I'm getting a draw supporter for the following turn. There's a Mewtwo in my hand and something else. Maybe I'm not getting a draw supporter. But we'll see. I wish I could see. I wish I knew what I was doing. Or what are you doing right now? What are you doing? You're grabbing two mystery cards. 2 mystery cards. I don't know what you're getting. Because I don't know what exactly I need right now. Another card I'm not playing in this deck is Enhance Hammer. I found that I don't really need it. Like, not only is Barbarical like a thing that prevents energies, but like with the deck is a lot more aggressive than it used to be. Oh yeah, I'm getting Sycamore and a Greninja. So I'm putting, oh, I see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm getting Greninja to knock out that Zoro between Greninja and the Glaceon damage. Okay, that makes sense. All right, go me. I'm a genius. All right. I also grabbed Sycamore off that, so I have a draw supporter for the following turn. Devoured Field. Ooh, Devoured Field's pretty good. Actually, Devoured Field, oh, that was actually pretty interesting. Okay, cool. So Devoured Field does give her an extra 10 damage. So right now she's hitting for 110. And I don't get a 2 KO because I don't have any more frogs down. So she knows that she can safely attack this turn without any shenanigans happening, which is pretty good. I don't play Kukui. You would assume I'm not playing Kukui in a deck like this. And I still need to get me another Eevee. So because I know I'm going to survive this turn, I can at the very least next turn try to dig for a water energy Eevee to evolve into my last Glaceon and see what I can do there. But she's hitting me for a solid 110. But I'm attaching there, and so I guess it's because I'm ready to close out this game. Okay, so I see what's going on. Because one way or another, unless she gets Acerola here, all I need to do is like a GX or some shenanigans like that this turn. So let's see, what all can I do here? I need to get a couple of things down. Maybe I'll get down a frog, but yeah, I'm gonna get down the Eevee. All right, so I am playing a little bit safe. I don't know why I attached that Greninja though, when I should have been attaching to an Eevee this turn. But regardless, I can still manually attach the following turn. Or just manually evolve and then like do some fun Aqua Patch shenanigans that way. We'll see what we can do here. She will take a knockout. So this is a lot closer of a game, which is good. She can take a knockout this turn. I don't know what else she would want to do. Because like something like if she needs to actually, what she needs to do is she needs to try to Acerola this turn, but it's a little bit difficult because you can't play Lele. Which is pretty big. She might just retreat and attack with that Glaceon and that Zoroark instead. But if she does that, I can't GX anymore actually. So I can't GX with my Greninja to snipe it, which means I definitely need to find myself a Guzma if I want to win the game if she does retreat. But I think she kind of has to retreat. I don't know, she could risk the DCE because I still need a DCE to win the game. And I've already played down, what, 3 DCEs? Maybe that's my 3rd one. I actually don't remember. Maybe it was only 2. Because I've only been attacking with 2 Glaceons. So I have like 2 more DCs left. So she could risk the lack of DCs right now. And hopefully I don't find it to win the game while she takes a knockout here. Because if she gets rid of my Glaceons, then it's good for her. She can actually start using trade and she can try to bring this game back. Because she really only needs to take 1 more prize or 1 more GX knockout to win the game. So let's see what I got in my hand. All right, I do have the DC, so I can just attack for game. So it was a close game, but like I said, like the Greninja plus Glaceon math is really good. The Greninja's really just, the Glaceon's is really good, but the matchup's really skewed in the Glaceon's favor as well. Like I said, we are just kind of randomizing. We're just randomizing the different decks between like what we have, the new deck versus an old deck. She wanted to play the Greninja Zoroark deck. And I wanted to play Glaceon because it's a different deck and I want to make sure I have at least one unique deck every time we do a video, at least for the next like 2 or 3 videos. But thank you guys all for watching. Let me know what matchups you guys want to see in the comments down below. That's the only reason why we're randomizing, because you guys haven't been leaving me those sweet comments. I mean, you guys have been leaving a lot of comments. And by the way, don't forget to like the video and all that good jazz, because I will be doing some Ultra Prism code giveaways. We might even be doing some Forbidden Light code giveaways here soon as well. And if you guys have not seen the vlog, I actually uploaded a vlog on the channel recently. In the vlog, I'm doing a Lucario GX code giveaway, as well as a shout out to Cards and Comics for all the support. And I do want to say thank you to them, and they are giving it to me and I'm giving it back, so yay. You guys know how it is. Drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Let me know what decks you guys want to see me play in the future. I am working on an updated Garchomp deck, an updated Gardevoir deck, and I'm still working on making Naga Metals better. Naga Metals I've changed drastically, so I can't wait to show you guys that. Ultra Necrozma, I added some choice bands. I'm working on fitting in a Mew in there, because I know a lot of people want me to play Mew. I understand the reason to play Mew. It's a 1-prize attacker. I just don't like the card Mew in the meta, where I don't feel like you kind of need it. But it makes sense because you do want that 1-prize attacker in the deck, and it works. So I'm working on putting in a Mew, and I already put in 2 choice bands. I want to put in more, so that's going on right now. Zoroark Greninja, as you guys saw, it's a little bit updated. Obviously it's a bad matchup against Glaceon, it is what it is there. And what's the other deck? Zygarde, I added an Octillery line in there, and I took out a Regirock. And I'm working on the overall consistency of that deck. I've been loving that deck. People that say that deck is bad, dude, they have not tried it yet. You definitely need to play that deck before you kind of like write it off as inconsistent. To me, it's kind of like got the same consistency as Guardy, because you're playing the 2 different types of energies and you're like doing a lot of draw stuff, but instead you are taking out all the stage 2s and the rare candies, and you're playing cards like Brooklet to get your Pokemon out. So it's a little bit more consistent. So I've been hearing a lot of comments saying that the deck is inconsistent, but you definitely have to play it first before you give it that. Being able to charge yourself up while potentially taking KOs is pretty big. But yeah, that's gonna be the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.